The late morning sun poured golden light across the bustling streets of downtown Chicago. Cafes spilled over with chatter, the aroma of roasted coffee beans mingling with the sweet scent of cinnamon rolls and buttered croissants. Inside the Elmwood Cafe, one of the city's trendiest spots, the clinking of cutlery blended with laughter and the low hum of conversations. It was a Saturday, and every table was alive with stories, meetings, and plans. Near the large bay window, Lily sat with her friends. She was young, beautiful, and carefully put together. Her manicured nails gleamed as she held her cappuccino, and her designer handbag rested proudly on the chair beside her. But what she enjoyed showing off most wasn't the handbag or her perfect curls, it was the diamond ring sparkling on her finger. "Daniel really outdid himself with this," one of her friends said, leaning closer to admire the ring. Lily smiled smugly. "Well, what can I say? He knows I deserve the best. When you're engaged to someone successful, life changes." She spoke loudly enough so the nearby tables could hear. Her friends giggled, sipping their lattes, eager to bask in the glow of Lily's good fortune. She loved moments like this, the kind where all eyes were on her, the kind where admiration clung to her like perfume. Daniel was running late, but she didn't mind. The more time she had to display her ring, the better. Then, the cafe door creaked open. An elderly man stepped in. His back was slightly bent, his shoulders weighed down not only by age but by years of hardship. His coat was old, patched in places, it seems threatening to split. His shoes were scuffed, the leather cracked from too many winters trudging through snow. His face was lined deeply, each wrinkle telling a story of sacrifice, each gray strand of hair carrying the weight of time. But his eyes carried something different. A mixture of fear, hope, and desperation. He scanned the cafe nervously, as if searching for something, or someone. His hands trembled against his sides as he took small, cautious steps further in. When his gaze fell upon Lily, a flicker of recognition crossed his face. His lips parted, and his body seemed to pull itself toward her. He hesitated, then shuffled forward, weaving between the tables until he stood before her. "Excuse me," his voice was soft, gravelly, carrying years of unspoken words. "Are you, Lily?" The group of women at the table glanced up, startled. Lily frowned, eyeing the man's ragged clothes, his weathered skin. She instinctively drew her handbag closer, as though guarding it. "Yes, and who exactly are you?" The man's chest rose and fell, his breath shaky. He swallowed hard before whispering, "I need to see Daniel. Please, I'm his father." The cafe's hum dropped instantly, as though someone had pressed pause. A few customers turned to look. The barista froze mid-pour. Conversations hushed, replaced by an uncomfortable silence. Lily blinked, stunned for only a second before recovering with a sharp, mocking laugh. "His father? You must be joking." The elderly man's eyes glistened. "No, I'm his father. I raised him. I just need to speak with him." Lily leaned back in her chair, arms crossed, her voice laced with venom. "Listen, old man, Daniel's father is respectable. Dignified. Not some shabby, wrinkled stranger who barges into cafes looking for handouts." A ripple of laughter spread across her table. One of her friends whispered something, and the others covered their mouths to giggle. Lily smirked, emboldened by their reaction. The man flinched but stood his ground. I worked every day of my life for him. I may not look like much now, but I am his father. Please, I just want a moment with him." His voice cracked with desperation. His hands, calloused and trembling, reached forward slightly as though trying to bridge the distance between them. But Lily recoiled, her disgust sharp. "Don't you dare come near me. Do you think I'm stupid? Daniel's father would never dress like a beggar. You're probably just some scammer who heard about him and wants money. That's what this is, right? You want money." A hush swept over the cafe again. People shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Some stared at Lily in shock, others stared at the old man with pity. The old man's lips quivered. His face, lined with decades of sacrifice, looked utterly broken in that moment. His voice trembled as he tried again, louder this time, the words clawing out of his chest like a final plea. "I'm your father." The cafe froze. The words carried such raw anguish, such undeniable sincerity, that even the air seemed to hold still. His eyes brimmed with tears, his body shivering from a mixture of shame and heartbreak. But Lily only sneered, her pride drowning out any trace of compassion. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. You should be ashamed, pretending to be something you're not. Do you know how embarrassing this is, for me, for Daniel? Get out. Leave before I call security. Her voice rang through the cafe like a whip. The old man's head bowed. Tears rolled down his cheeks, disappearing into the rough fabric of his coat. He had endured years of hardship in silence, but this humiliation cut deeper than any hunger, colder than any winter night. For a moment, he looked as though the weight of the world might finally crush him. The customers whispered among themselves, some shaking their heads at Lily's cruelty, others too uncomfortable to intervene. The barista bit her lip, torn between compassion and fear of getting involved. Lily sat tall, arms crossed, satisfied with herself. To her, this was just another obstacle to sweep aside, another chance to remind the world she was above people like him. She had no idea that behind her, at that very moment, Daniel had pushed open the cafe door. He stood frozen just inside the entrance, having heard every word, his face pale with disbelief and anger. And the storm was about to break. Lily, stop. The voice cut through the cafe like a blade. Firm, steady, and unmistakably familiar. Every head turned toward the entrance, where Daniel stood frozen, his hand still on the door, his expression caught between fury and heartbreak. His tall frame seemed to tower over the moment, his sharp suit and polished shoes starkly contrasting with the trembling old man who stood only a few feet away. The old man's eyes widened. Daniel, he whispered, his voice breaking, half in relief and half in shame. Daniel's chest heaved as though he had sprinted miles. He had heard enough, more than enough. His steps were fast, almost desperate, as he crossed the room, brushing past stunned customers. Without hesitation, he dropped to his knees in front of the frail figure. Dad, Daniel's voice cracked like glass. Dad, it's me. I'm here. I'm so sorry I wasn't here sooner. His arms wrapped tightly around the elderly man's thin shoulders, pulling him close as if to shield him from every cruel word spoken moments earlier. Gasps echoed through the cafe. A few people covered their mouths, others exchanged wide-eyed looks. The barista, who had been frozen at the counter, whispered under her breath, "Oh my God, he really is his father." Lily sat rigid, her face pale, her diamond ring suddenly feeling heavy on her hand. Her friends looked at each other in horror, their earlier giggles evaporating into awkward silence. Daniel pulled back just enough to look into his father's eyes, his own brimming with tears. "I don't care what anyone thinks. You're my father. You'll always be my father." The old man, voice trembling, stammered, I didn't mean to embarrass you, son. I only wanted to see you. To make sure you were happy. I thought maybe I could." His words faltered, choked by emotion. "You could what?" Daniel asked softly, his forehead pressing to his father's. "Maybe I could still be part of your life," the man whispered. Daniel's grip tightened. "You'll always be part of my life. You're the reason I have a life. You're the reason I can stand here today, the reason I built anything at all. You gave up everything for me. Don't you ever think you don't belong." The cafe remained hushed, the weight of the moment pressing down on every soul present. Then Daniel turned. His expression hardened as his gaze landed on Lily. His voice, low but sharp, carried across the room. "You." Lily flinched, her lips parting, but no words came out. "You humiliated him," Daniel continued, his tone trembling with anger. "The man who raised me, who worked 2 jobs, who skipped meals so I wouldn't go hungry, who walked miles through snow so I could have an education. He gave me everything. And you," he pointed, his hand shaking with fury, "you mocked him. Laughed at him. Dismissed him like trash." Lily's throat tightened. "Daniel, I didn't know, I thought he was just." "Just what?" Daniel snapped, his voice rising. "Just old. Just poor. Just unworthy because he doesn't fit your picture of what respectable looks like." Her eyes darted around the cafe, where strangers' disapproving stares burned into her. The walls of her pride were crumbling fast. "Daniel, please," she whispered, trying to sound gentle, almost pleading. "I didn't mean any harm. If I'd known. If you'd known he was rich, or if he wore a suit like mine, then you would have respected him, right?" Daniel's words cut deep. "But because he looks worn, because life shows on his face, you treated him like dirt. That tells me everything I need to know about you." Tears welled in Lily's eyes, not out of regret for her cruelty, but out of fear of losing the life she had flaunted. I love you, Daniel. Don't throw this away over. Over what? Daniel interrupted sharply. Over the man who gave me breath. Over the man whose hands are rough because he built my future with them. If you cannot honor him, you cannot honor me. If you cannot love him, you do not love me. His voice echoed in the cafe. A couple at a nearby table clapped softly in approval. Another customer shook their head, whispering, good for him. Lily reached out, her voice cracking. Daniel, wait. Please, let's talk about this privately. There's nothing left to talk about, he said, standing tall. His hand found his father's, gripping it with fierce loyalty. You showed your true heart today, Lily. And it's not a heart I want to spend my life with. Lily's face crumpled, the weight of her own actions crushing her. She slumped back in her chair as her friends sat silently, wishing they could disappear. The diamond ring that once shone like victory now felt like chains around her finger. Daniel turned back to his father, his expression softening instantly. Dad, let's go. You're coming home with me. No more standing outside, no more being treated this way. You belong with me, always. The old man's lips trembled as he tried to speak, but no words came, only tears, the kind he had held back for years. Daniel gently wrapped his arm around his father's shoulders, guiding him toward the door. As they walked out together, whispers rippled through the cafe. He chose his father over her. That's respect. That's real love. Good for him. That girl had no heart. The barista, unable to contain herself, muttered aloud, that's the kind of son every parent dreams of. Outside, the crisp autumn air greeted them. Daniel paused on the sidewalk, turning to face his father. From this day on, you will never walk alone again. I'll take care of you, the way you took care of me. His father's frail hand squeezed his tightly. I don't need riches, son. Just your love. That's enough. Daniel smiled through tears. You've had that all along. And now, the world will see it too. Together, they walked down the busy Chicago street, not as a businessman and an old man in rags, but as father and son, united, unashamed, and stronger than ever. And though Lily sat broken in the cafe, one truth remained clear. Respect is not measured by wealth, age, or appearances. It is revealed in the way we honor those who gave us life, who carried us when we could not walk, and who loved us when they had nothing else to give. Sparkle's moral. A person who disrespects the ones who sacrificed everything for us does not deserve a place in our future. True love and honor shine not in diamonds or riches but in loyalty to those who gave us life.